Stephen, considering the fact that when you speak to Galedo, he really tells you how his life has not been the same since he, got into this condition that he finds himself in now, saying that at school, some children don't understand that he's unable to walk as he was able to, before he was diagnosed with arthritis. He is also alleging that some teachers at school are not kind enough, to him, claiming that at some point he was pushed by a teacher after he refused to stand in a long queue with other learners, telling that teacher that he is unable to stand for a very long time. But let's speak to him, Stephen, so that he tells us more about, how life has been for him. Keletso, thank you for your time once again. We did speak to you, and you did mention that, when you speak to your mother sometimes, mama, will I ever walk again?
Yes, ke ne lo mmotsa hore ke nyako tsamaya. And ne ke khopela le nthuse for ke kgone tsamaya. Cause he ke le ko sekolong a ke sa kgone dlala le ditšhomi tsaka. Ne he ba dlala ke ba bohela. Cause ke tshaba thonkeha. And ne ke sa khopela le nthuse for ke kgone tsamaya. Ke kgone kry hip replacement.
And then you also mentioned gore ko sekolong you had an incident with a teacher who mistreated you. Just take us through that.
Yes, ne rile mo lining. So teacher mpotsa ke tsene mo lining ka mmotsa gore ke tlo tsena ke emetse line fokotse e be ampetha ka lepanta ka mmotsa ke re ke tlo tsena ha hanela mpetha e be ampusha bana ba tlasa ka ba ntshwara mpurkiwa. So ka boka ilo botsa memo ya mkhala.
And obviously you have dreams of your own. You did mention that you want to be a police officer one day, and you know that this hip replacement will actually help you, realize that dream and become this officer that you want to be.
Yes, ke nyako ba le phodisa. Ke kgone thusa batho, o ska ba le ditsotsi mo South Africa. That's why ke nyako ba le phodisa.
So how shebeletse bana ba bang ba dlala wena o dutse go wheelchair o tsamaya ka di-crutches, how does that make you feel?
Ke feel botlhoko cause nako ke sa kgone tsamaya ne ke kgone dlala le bona, no so ke sa kgone dlala le bona ka baka le la loto cause ke dlala le ba botlhoko le itekile re bala ke mo kutlwang dipain.
Before o lemala o no rata go etsang, like on a normal day as a child? No enjoy go etsang?
Ne ke rata dlala bolo. Ke rata bolo. So ne ke rata dlala bolo. Since ke thomo go bala a ke sa dlala.
And there's something that Mama Humble Letsiona, she says you told her gore ha o ka tsamaya fela ba tlo tseba mo Atteridgeville.
Yeah, ba tlo tseba. Khale ke sa tsamaya khale ba tsampone. So tsatsi ke tlo tsamaya ke tlo kgona tsamayang. Nka se tlhole ke ba ka mojarateng. Tlo dlala khule. Yeah.
And your mother is saying, which is something that is very surprising, Mama, how are you've got strength, for ngwana wa age how and going through all of this. Kwena o mo fang matla, ke eng e go tsang gore o be le strength?
Yeah, ke sure.
Well, what makes you, even on days where sometimes bana ba bang ba dlalla ko ntle wena o sa kgone, but you don't, how le kanto you keep on, ka bophelo, and you still want to become a police officer, and obviously your mother is supporting you in all of that.
Yeah, mama ka wan supporta mo dilong tse dintsi. So that's why ke nyako ba le phodisa for le nna ke tlo kgona mo thusa. Setse ke hodile ke bere ke le phodisa.
Thank you very much, Galedo. That is 16-year-old Galedo Stephen, telling us about how life is for him, living with arthritis. He is unable to play like other children because you'd understand that he has a challenge of walking. he has to walk using crutches or sometimes use his wheelchair, especially when he gets to school. He's also making claims that, there's a specific teacher at school who has mistreated him, knowing very well of his current condition. He also speaks about his dreams, that one day he wants to be a police officer, and this condition has not stopped him from dreaming, but he is hopeful that perhaps someone out there will come forth and, offer some kind of assistance so that he does get this hip, replacement that he needs to get so that he is able to walk again. The mother earlier on told us that at Galafong Hospital, they told him that they cannot operate him at this age. He will have to wait until he turns about 21 for him to be able to be operated. But of course, Stephen will be speaking to a medical expert about this so that we understand how common is arthritis, especially to teenagers, because when one speaks about arthritis, it's easy for a person to think that it's usually, grandparents or people that are much older that usually get to be diagnosed with it. But there are people like Galedo, who have arthritis. So that medical expert will tell us more, and also what can be done so that he has his life back. Back to you in studio.
Zola Tshwane, thank you very much indeed.